Communication is essentially sharing an idea with another person. There are lots of different terms to explain how we communicate. Some people say multimodal communication. Some say aided and unaided forms of communication. Sometimes people might use the word suprasegmental to explain a type of communication, but I can barely pronounce the word, let alone explain it. Another slightly easier way of explaining modes of communication is to think of messages being passed from one person to another based in the following areas. Number 1, how we use picture word boards. Number 2, using objects, including objects in our environment to communicate. Number 3, using residual speech, which includes music. Number 4, using technology such as speech generating devices. And finally, number 5 is using gestures, which includes A, rule-based gestures such as sign language, B, easy to decode gestures such as waving, and C, difficult to decode gestures such as clenching our jaw. To help remember these different ways of communication, we can picture a hand. Each finger of the hand represents one of these different modes. We often point to picture and word boards. So let's imagine that the pointer finger reminds us to look at all the words and pictures in our environment. Looking around any classroom, there will be an abundant picture-based vocabulary. Look around your own room and think about how you could point to different things to help communicate. The ring finger, a finger we commonly have an object on, it can represent objects in our environment. How do we use common objects, like a cup, a water fountain, or the taps in the sink? These help to indicate we want something, such as a drink. Thumbs up, good job. It's a gesture that we've all used and is fairly universal. So the thumb represents gestures. And remember, there are 3 types of gestures. A, rule-based gestures such as sign language. B, easy to decode gestures such as waving. And C, difficult to decode gestures such as clenching your jaw. The pinky finger represents speech. Now, how do those two go together? Isn't the pinky finger the weakest finger? Yes, it is. And some people suggest that speech is our weakest form of communication. Don't get me wrong, it's a very important form of communication, but you need to use speech in conjunction with other forms of communication in order to be understood. Technology is a mode of communication that can bring all the forms of communication together. So it's represented by the middle finger at the center of our hand. Technology can help students who have differing abilities reach their goals. Technology could be a tablet with an augmentative alternative communication app such as TouchChat. But technology as an alternative or augmentative solution for communication is limitless, and there are lots of possibilities.